Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from group 1 who would like to present material about phonetic and phonology, sound, spell, and symbol. Next, let me introduce my group member here. There are Putri Sekarwangi, Rizkita Sufitriani, and Sepia Putri Apriliani. The table of contents. First is what is phonetic, what is phonology, phonetic symbol, international phonetic alphabet, phonetic sounds, and phonetic spelling. What is phonetic? It's the science which studies this characteristic of human sound making, especially those sound used in speech, and provides methods for their description, classification, and transcription. The science of phonetics is concerned with the objective description and analysis of all aspects of speech, depending on treating it as a succession of sounds. The International Phonetic Alphabet, or IPA, aims to provide symbol for any sound in any language. Phonetic is the study of how a sound or sound is made by the mouth, teeth, lip, tongue, pharynx, and lungs. Phonetics only discuss how the relationship of body parts that can produce sounds or sounds. Next, the three types of phonetics. First, articulatory phonetics, acoustic phonetics, and auditory phonetics. Articulatory phonetics is the branch of phonetics concerned with describing the speech sound of the world language in terms of their articulation, that is, the movement and or position of the vocal organs articulators. For example, when making up sound, the lips come together tightly, blocking the air momentarily and causing a build-up of air pressure. Acoustic phonetic is the study of synchronous of physical properties in the sounds or signal of speech. Acoustic phonetics is the investigation of the actual properties of discourse and respect to dissect sound wave flags that happen inside discourse through fluctuating frequencies, amplitudes, and lengths. For example, human voice, wall sounds, wine, and violin. Auditory phonetics is the branch of phonetics concerned with the hearing of speech sounds and with speech perception. Next, phonetic symbol. In phonetics, there is a symbol which is usually called the International Phonetic Alphabet, or IPA, which serves to provide a symbol for any sound and also in any language, and to help pronounce a word properly and correctly. Next, International Phonetic Alphabet. International Phonetic Alphabet, like many books have studied, is as the reference of this discussion to decide the phonemes, symbols of sounds. It may be found in British English and American English. British and American English also refer to this IPA. However, there will be different accent in comprehending and producing the symbols and the sounds in practice, but not go away from IPA. Next, example of the International Phonetic Alphabet, or IPA. Here's phonetic symbols. Here's a sample of phonetic symbols. Consonant is a pen, dad, tea, did, cat, got, chain, jam, fall, fun, thin, this, so, zoo, shoe, vision, hat, man, no, sing, leg, red, yes, and wet. Vowels and diphthongs. See, happy, sit, tan, cat, father. Got, saw, put, actual, to, cup, bird, about, say, go, and pure. As shown in the picture above, it shows that phonetic symbols help us how to pronounce a word properly and correctly. The pronunciation of words in English, both British English and American English, is different. For example, in the word chain, in British English is a chain, and in American English is a chain. Next, diacritic mark on vowel. Symbol. Phonetic value, low front, a rounded vowel. Example, cat, played. All right, next, for the next material will be explained by Sepia Putri Apriliani. Sepia, time and place are welcome.
Okay, thank you, Rizkita. The next one is, what is phonology? Phonology is a branch of linguistics that studies how language or dialect systematically organize their sound or sign in sign language. Next. Phonology is the science that explains a system in a language. Phonology is also one of the branches of linguistics which deals with how to pronounce a language. In addition, the science also discusses the history of a language, about how the origin of formation of a language and how the language can disappear or is no longer used as a means of communication. Phonology can also be referred to as a science that studies a language carefully and in detail. Phonology also serves to find out how change in the sound of sound a word. Phonology also examines how a process is formed by a sound, and lastly, phonology also studies the process of how organs work in humans, especially organs related to the use of a sound language. Next. Phonology comes from ancient Greek phon, voice sound, and logos, word, speech subject of discussion. Phonology is the study of the system of sound and sound combination in a language. It is concerned with how the sounds are systematically organized in a language, how they are combined to form words, how they are categorized by and interpreted in the minds of speakers. The word phonology itself comes from the Greek word phon, which means voice. The study of phonology in the Western tradition goes back almost 200 years to the early 1800s, when European linguists began studying sound change, comparing the speech sound in a variety of related language. However, the emphasis in modern phonology as it has developed over the last 30 years has been primarily on the physiological system that underlines pro- pronunciation and secondarily on the actual physical articulation of speech. So phonology is the study of the sound system of language, how the particular sound used in each language form an integrated system for encoding information and how such systems differ from one language to another. Next. Phonetic spelling guide to what it is and how it's used. Phonetic spelling is a tool for pronunciation. It involves writing out words according to how the letters and syllables are spoken. It doesn't represent an internet way that words can be spelled in written communication, but rather simply provides a guide for correct pronunciation. Next. Uses for phonetic spelling. Phonetic spelling is invaluable for those who are learning to speak a new language or who find themselves needing to pronounce hard to say names or other words in their own language. Phonetic spelling is used in many situations that involve public speaking, such as the phonetic spelling of names for a graduation ceremony, announcing sport events, giving speeches, or reading the news. Phonetic spelling can help speakers or presenters know how to properly pronounce people's names or unfamiliar words, such as unfamiliar jargon. For example, medical terminology includes many complex words that can be hard to pronounce. Phonetic spelling is a sound-based pronunciation guide for such terms. The International Phonetic Alphabet or APA is particularly helpful for people who are learning how to speak a language other than their native tongue. It provides some symbols for various sounds that are consistent across all languages. Next. Phonetic spelling guide. In order to write out words based on how they are pronounced, you'll need to use a phonetic spelling guide that provides ways to write the various sounds that different letters make. You can use a phonetic symbol for each sound or opt to utilize IPA symbol. Next. Phonetic consonant sound chart. The phonetic spelling chart below illustrates standard phonetic spelling for consonant sound commonly used in English for the highlight letters in the sounds like column. The third column features the APA symbol for consonant sound. Here is the example. Next. Next. Phonetic vowel sound chart. The symbols below are used to indicate common vowel sound in the English language. Each symbol is used to represent the type of sound marked in bold in the sounds like column. The APA symbol that vowel sound is given in the third right column. Here is the example. Next. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for Sepia. The next material will be explained by Putri Sekarwangi. Putri Sekarwangi, time and place are welcome.
Phonetic spelling examples. When words are transcribed into their phonetic spelling, dash are used to separate syllables. Sounds that are stressed can either be bold or written in capital letters, which is the option used below. Review the list of words below for a few examples of phonetic spellings and IPA transcription. For example, like this on the table. Okay, next. Phonetic spelling dictionary and transcription. When you look up a word in the dictionary, it will show you one or more common phonetic spellings for the term. There are also some free online phonetic spelling computer tools you can use. First, if you're specifically interested in IPA transcription, This automatic phonemic transcriber site is a good option. You can enter any Danish, English, or German word and it will be transcribed into IPA symbols. Second, if you want to get word phonetic spelling and IPA symbols, the site easypronunciation.com is a better option. You can select American or British English and get results transcribed either way or both ways. If you are learning to speak English as a second language or ESL, or if you frequently do public speaking that involves pronunciation, unfamiliar words, and a print guide to the IPA can be useful too. The IPA for language learning and introduction to the International Phonetic Alphabet is a good option to consider. Next. English phonetic spelling alphabet. When speaking on the telephone or in a noisy environment, it is sometimes useful to spell a word using the English phonetic spelling alphabet. To spell cup, for example, you will say C for Charlie, L for Lima, U for uniform, B for Bravo. English club, I'll spell that for you. E for echo, N for November, G for Europe, L for Lima, I for India, S for Sierra, H for hotel, C for Charlie, L for Lima, U for uniform, B for Bravo. Next. Hmm. It is very easy to learn the spelling alphabet. Start by spelling your name, then your company or address. Soon, you will know the whole alphabet. It also helps to remember that there are several groups of words that go together. Ansys, Foxtrot, Tango. Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet. Man's first name, Charlie, Mike, Oscar, Victor. Cities, Lima, Quebec. The English phonetic spelling alphabet is widely used by police and military organizations, including NATO. It is sometimes called the NATO phonetic alphabet, but in fact, it predates NATO by several decades. It is also sometimes called wrongly the International Phonetic Alphabet. Next. Phonetic spelling instructions. Although the pronunciation of many names is obvious, some require special attention. If your name is one that is pronounced in a special way, please use the key below to advise us how your name should be pronounced. Indicate either the phonetic spelling of your name or a familiar word that rhymes with your name. First, syllables are separated by dashes. Second, stretched syllables are capitalized. For the example, you can see on the table. Okay, next. Here the consonant, like the spelling symbols. B, example, but, wet. CH, crutch, nature. D, do, odd. DH, this, breed, father. Spelling symbol S, example, F, fall, enough, leave. G, go, back. H, hem, ahead. G, gin, joy, edge. K, cat, kiss, queen, skin, and tick. And etc. Next. And here also the example you can see on the table. Next. And here vowels. For example, spelling symbol A, example, trap, cat, and etc. Okay, next. Okay, conclusion. Language as a human experience production is unique with reference to text and context. Both text and context cannot be separated between one and another to comprehend and produce meaning. No one language is better than other. Each of language is better, best, and unique with reference to the application of text and context as a human production. Language production is the process of conveying the meaning or experience in spoken and written language by, of course, the speaker or writer to who receives it and is said in a process of listening or reading by listener or reader. The process of language production in this study is concerned to the speech production. A child and the closest family members need time, patience, and optimism. Because a child is born like white paper, there is no dirt. It depends on their close family members to drive to what they want to be. Next. So we need a theory of language production, and that is phonetic and phonology. Phonetics is a study of speech sounds, how they are produced in the vocal tract or production on speech sound. Articulatory phonetics, the study of the transmission under physical properties or acoustic phonetics and how they are perceived. Auditory phonetics. Phono Phonology is the study of the sound system of language, how the particular sounds used in each language form and integrate a system for encoding information and how such systems differ from one language to another. In teaching English today, English is already divided into three cycles. One, inner circle mother tongue, two, outer circle second user, and third, expanding circle present user. The three of them must be standardized by teaching by International Phonetic Alphabet (IPA) and received pronunciation by F. Next. Thank you for your attention. Kurang lebihnya mohon maaf. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.